What's good? Welcome. This is Trey, and today we are talking about what women are looking for in a man, right? What is that main quality, that main attractive trait that women are looking for? So, by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of the type of man that really gets women going from a sexual perspective, and you'll also get an understanding of what the repelling trait is, right? So what is that trait that turns women off? Or like the main one, right? So to start this off, we first need to understand, okay, this you probably noticed this. Women are quite picky when it comes to choosing their sexual selection, right? And there's a reason for that because they have to invest more than a man. A man just, he can just go around and just have sex all day and it is what it is. Whereas a woman, if she gets pregnant, and we're looking at this from nature's perspective, right? So imagine there was no such thing as condoms, right? It would be in her best interest to be very picky because if she gets pregnant, it better be by the right guy. She doesn't want to get pregnant by a guy who is mentally and emotionally unstable, or a guy who is not doesn't have good genes, meaning meaning he has like qualities that she wouldn't want her children to inherit, right? So she has to get very very picky, and it is what it is, right? So we start with that understanding, and then we have to look at, okay, so what is she looking for? Like, she's being picky. Okay, so what is she looking for? And she's looking for things on a subconscious level, and it's based on her attraction mechanism, which is, you know it's hardwired in every woman, right? Now, there's like some core things that women are looking for. Obviously, it gets more specific depending on the woman's personality and also the situation she's in at the time. But at the core, there's certain qualities she's looking for. So if we go back to hunter gatherer times, which the attraction mechanism is still dated back to that time, so it hasn't really advanced much, it's very similar. She's looking for the same things. Now, back in hunter gatherer times, it wasn't about looks, it wasn't about money, clothes, and cars. Why? Because survival value was, about a man having qualities that would indicate that he could survive well in the environments, right? And that has nothing to do with looks. Um, Back then, hunter gatherer times, there wasn't money, so she wasn't looking at money, right? There wasn't designer clothes, so she wasn't looking at designer clothes, and there wasn't cars, there wasn't BMWs, Mercedes Benz, and Rolls Royce back then. So what was a woman looking at? She was looking at a man's physical health, his behavior, and his subcommunication. Now, this is the same attraction mechanisms that are still hardwired in a woman to this day. So a woman is still looking at a man's physical health, his behavior, and his subcommunication. Now, I would say if we really wanted to narrow it down to what she's really focused on, it's behavior and subcommunication. Physical health too, yes, but mainly women are choosing men based on their behavior and their sub communications. Okay. Now, why is that? Because, like I said, in hunter gatherer days, there wasn't money. She couldn't look at a man's money. She couldn't look at his clothes. She couldn't look at his car. So the most accurate indicator of his survival value would be his behavior and sub communication, right? Is he displaying character traits, personality traits, behaviors that a man would have who would be able to survive well? Why is survival so important to a woman? Because if she has sex with the man and has a child, she needs to be able to survive, and the child needs to be able to survive, right? So she needs a certain type of man in order for them to survive. So what are these behaviors and sub communication? Well, um if we wanted to say, like, what is that main quality a woman's looking for, it would be non-neediness, right? And she's looking at that in his behavior. Non-neediness, wholeness, and abundance. So another way to put this, a man who's self-sufficient, a man who's winning, a man who is independent, a man who's powerful, strong, mentally, emotionally strong, right? Um Especially like now, because she needs a man that's not going to break. You see what I'm saying? Like who's not going to just like go into a depression and leave her or something. She needs a man who's mentally and emotionally stable. And so that would be a man who's not needy, right? A man who's whole, a man who's abundance, right? When you start acting needy and acting like you're lacking, right? Um in joy and you're lacking in happiness, you're lacking in peace. You're in a situation of scarcity, like you're not, other women have no interest in you. If you demonstrate that to a woman, you will repel her, right? Because you're basically signaling to her anti-survival traits. She's looking for a man who's surviving. Matter of fact, she's looking for a man who's thriving, ideally, right? Not only is he surviving, he's doing much better than everybody else. And how does she know that? Not the guy who's beating his chest, not the guy who's trying to act cool, the guy who's demonstrating it in his subcommunication, his behavior. He shouldn't even have to say a word. If a guy is you know, non-needy, whole and abundant, he would have no reason to brag about that, right? Because if somebody's bragging about something, it means they're seeking some kind of validation, meaning they're not very secure in their situation. They're not very secure in themselves. Otherwise, why are they bragging? So, a man who's whole and abundant would be qualifying women instead of seeking approval. So, in her interactions, she's testing and looking to see. All right, let's see if this guy's gonna like kiss my ass. Let's see if this guy's gonna walk on eggshells around me. Let's see if this guy's gonna submit to my frame. Like, if he's doing that, then that's showing her weakness. That's showing her neediness. That's showing her a man who's in scarcity situations, lacking. And then the opposite of that would be a man who's qualifying her. So this is a guy who has a strong frame, who has a strong character, is grounded, and who knows his value. And he's looking at the woman like, hold on, I got to see if you are right for me, because I have options. I'm pre-selected. I'm abundance, and like a woman would love to be with me. So if you're not showing, if you're not meeting my standards, then see you later. And that vibe would tell her right away, oh, this guy is not needy. This guy is actually whole and abundance. He's obviously must be doing well, because most guys are, ready to lick my feet, and this guy is like ready to kick me to the curb if I don't qualify properly. So that is one way she'll notice. The thing with neediness is it basically tells a woman that you're in a situation of scarcity. You're not doing that well, you know and when it comes to options, you're basically telling her, yeah, I'm not doing too well. Women aren't really paying me any mind. So, let me kiss up to you. Let me, you know, and that, you know, from a sexual attraction standpoint, that's just turning her off, man. Because, like I said, sexual attraction for a woman, it's about survival value. Because if she was to have sex with you, she needs to survive and the child needs to survive. That means the man has to be really secure. The man has to have what she's looking for. Like, the risk has to be worth it. Um so that is, so okay, the topic of this video is women want a man who has this. So a woman wants a man who's whole. A woman wants a man who's abundant. A woman wants a man who's not needy, right? So your attractiveness, like, ask yourself, like, am I needy? Am I whole? Like, am I emotion? Let's go further into this. A woman's paying it. Okay, a woman is paying attention to how needy you are, not just with her, but with other people. Like if you're walking around on eggshells with people, you know, trying to get people's approval and validation, you know, being extra nice, you know, like not from a place of you're being nice because you want to be nice, but you're being nice because you have no other value. She's noticing that and she's getting turned off because it's anti-survival. Why is this guy acting like this? Is he losing in life? Is he in debt? Is he, you know, is somebody like you know, out to get him? Like why is he, you know what I mean? Why can't he just relax and chill out and just have a good time? Like what's going on here? So your level of attractiveness is equal to your level of non-neediness or your level of wholeness. So if you want to be more attractive with women, work on getting rid of neediness. Like become self-sufficient, become whole. Like find joy and happiness within. Go within first. Like if you can't be happy and find self-love and joy and peace within you, first of all, you're not going to get it from the woman. And second of all, she's not going to be interested in giving it to you anyway. So just you gotta like get this handled. Like the problem is guys are trying to go and learn pickup tactics and ways to get the women to like you and this and that when the foundation is broken. Because if you are trying to do all this stuff but you're giving off the vibe that you're needy, it's none of that stuff is gonna work. If you're giving off the vibe that you're in a scarcity situation, none of that game is gonna work unless you get really good at lying to women, which now you're destroying your character and your integrity. So you're just gonna be fucked up, dude. You know what I mean? Like you're destroying yourself at that point. So I mean, if you want to get women, it's a very interesting thing because most guys they're trying to get women to feel good about themselves, but you're not gonna get like a quality woman. You know, you may get like, and this is me just being real with you. You may get some low self esteem woman or get lucky or something like that. But is that what you want, or do you want real like permanent results? Right? Like you can get to a point where getting women is like drinking water. You know, where it's effortless. You know, it's like nothing. It's no big deal. But that happens once you get to this place of wholeness and non-neediness. That's when your natural attractiveness starts coming across. You know, when I got into the world of, meeting women and dating and all that stuff and trying to figure that stuff out, I wanted to be a natural. You know, it didn't come to me naturally. I wasn't able to naturally attract women. And it makes perfect sense with the understanding I have now because I used to be needy. I used to be seeking approval and validation from the woman. I didn't feel secure in myself. I wasn't whole. I didn't love myself, you know? So yeah, I was trying to get women and I was repelling them. But then once I decided, you know what, let me work on myself. Let me, work on my confidence. Let me work on becoming self-sufficient, emotionally independent, grounded in my masculinity. Then once I handled that and I started going and talking to women, women were making it easy for me to get with them. Like they would just like show a bunch of signs of what they call it, indicators of interest, because I was displaying attractive qualities, which is non-neediness, which is emotional independence, grounded masculinity, abundance. So yeah, women are looking for a man who is emotionally independent, has the ability to share a variety of emotional experiences with her. So she wants a man that can provide her with an emotional experience. Um, it's like you got to create your own. You got to be in your own world, bro. You got to be in your own universe, and your universe has to be full of joy and love and peace and all these great feelings, so that somebody wants to come into your world. The way that guys are doing it is that their world sucks and they're trying to go into the woman's world, and the woman is like, it's almost like you're trying to put her in a position of being grounded in her masculinity, and that's off. She's the appropriate relationship is The man's supposed to be grounded in his masculinity so that the woman can go into her feminine, you know? If you are not grounded in your masculinity, and when I say grounded in your masculinity, like if you're not emotionally and mentally stable and able to express yourself freely, and you found your self-confidence and self-love and self-worth, and you're able to express that, if you're not in that place, then she's not going to be feminine around you. She's gonna have to be masculine, and she's gonna resent you for that. So we have to set up the relationship properly. So here's something to look at, because I like statements that wake you up. At least it wakes me up. A needy man is actually a boy. Let's not sugarcoat this. A needy man, like, what is that? Like, even as a man, when I see a man who's acting needy, I'm like, what is that? That's a boy, dude. What is a boy? A boy is basically a male that, like, still needs, support and direction from his parents, and emotional support and stuff like that. So a man would basically be when a boy graduates from boyhood and goes into manhood. And manhood is when you become independent, you become secure, you become whole, you become fulfilled, you start to live a life of purpose and passion, and you're leading, and you have a vision, and you have a trajectory that you're moving forward, you're penetrating the world, and you're grounded, like you know who you are. That is what women are looking for. So you want to make it a goal, like literally, like starting now. Now that you're aware of what's really attractive to a woman and what repels women, it's like, okay, get rid of your neediness. Like, make that a goal, because the more you get rid of your neediness, the more attractive you become. And how do you do that? You do that by living a life of purpose, passion, love, and joy. Right? So ask yourself, am I living a life of purpose, passion, love, and joy? If you are not, I guarantee you're needy. Because if you're not in love with your life, if you're not enjoying your life, then what are you going to be looking to find? Someone whose life is better so you can leech on to them. That's the problem. Guys' life suck, so they're looking for the woman to make them happy. But the woman, that's too much. You're like basically a burden on the woman if you do that. You're a leech. And a lot of times the woman, her life isn't perfect. So what do you think you coming in there is like gonna lead? Like, she's looking for, a man. She's looking for a grounded man. Like, so you're basically, if you're looking for a woman to make you happy, you're basically like looking for a woman to be your man. Think about that. That doesn't even make sense. So yeah, you want to get rid of this neediness, and also you want to get clear on your values, boundaries, and principles. This will also get rid of your neediness, because you'll basically know who you are and what makes you happy and what kind of life you want to live, and therefore you go about creating that, and you become grounded in that, and you know how to find your joy, you know how to find your peace, you know how to find your happiness, because you understand yourself. And this makes you very attractive to a woman, because she wants to be a part of that. Right? She wants to be a part of your life when you actually have a life. You see? So that is the advice. I hope that was clear to you. What is attractive to a woman, what women are looking for, and also the opposite. You now know what repels women. So if you'd like a step-by-step formula to get rid of your neediness, like you actually want to know a process to go from being needy to non-needy, from going from scarcity to abundance, from going from lacking to wholeness, and you want to become that naturally, effortlessly attractive man who can get beautiful women at will, private message me, say, hey Trey, I just saw your video and I am ready to change my life. Or you can just comment natural below and I'll reach out to you. But either way, I hope this video was helpful. Hope it made sense. And I will see you in the next ones. Peace.